The silence before the inner storm. Spiritual awakening rarely begins with a burst of light. It doesn't barge through the front door with celestial fanfare or arrive with applause from the heavens. In fact, it often begins in silence, a restless, uncomfortable, almost unsettling silence. Everything around you seems unchanged, but within, something is already crumbling. It's as if a part of your soul is gently detaching from the world you've always known, and you can't explain it. Words falter, emotions waver, and what once filled you now feels tasteless. You smile, but you're empty. You talk, but you don't feel heard. You participate, but you feel absent, and no one around you notices, because the collapse approaching is internal, sacred, and silent. Before we continue, if this message is resonating with you, take a moment to subscribe, leave a like and comment 111 below. It's a way of saying, I am awakening. This silence is not the absence of God. It's the prelude to His presence. It's like the pause before the highest note in a symphony, like the deep breath of a prophet before declaring something that will change destinies. When everything starts to lose meaning, it's because the old logic of your soul is being uninstalled. The way of living based on performance, control, and expectation is giving way to something still formless but already pulsing like a suppressed cry. And you feel it. Something is being born, even if you don't know what it is. The places that once comforted you now suffocate you. The conversations that once fulfilled you now drain you. The dreams that once drove you now seem small. You look in the mirror and ask, what's happening to me? Unaware that this question is the first sign of your calling. Because only those who feel restless awaken. Only those who quiet themselves hear. And only those who dare to pause and face the void as a portal can cross through. This is the beginning of the journey of the chosen, and it never starts with a celebration. It starts with a loss of taste for ordinary things, a longing for something yet unseen, a desire to disappear to finally find yourself. You're not breaking, you're awakening. The emptiness that unsettles you is sacred. It was placed there to break the surface and lead you to the core. You're being pulled from the noise to hear the sound of your own soul. And when that sound aligns with the heavens, chaos becomes code. Silence becomes an answer. Discomfort becomes direction. This is where it all begins. The invisible rupture with the old self. There's a strange moment in the spiritual journey when you feel something within you starting to break, not a loud, visible, or public rupture, but a subtle, silent, almost imperceptible one to the outside world. It's as if the soul's clothing, the one you've worn for years to protect yourself, to fit in, to belong, is becoming tight, uncomfortable, unbearable. The jokes that used to make you laugh now irritate you. The places that once welcomed you now seem to expel you without words. The ambitions that once propelled you now feel fragile, hollow, disconnected from what your soul truly desires. And in this silent transition, the discomfort intensifies. You try to force the old self to carry on, stick to routines, fit in, make sense. But something is profoundly misaligned. The self you built over the years starts to crumble like a structure built on sand. You feel fear. You miss what was. Even knowing it no longer serves you. The old self screams for permanence, while the new self whispers for freedom. And you find yourself at war within your own heart. It's common to resist, to want to return to who you were. To force friendships, maintain habits, simulate old passions, but nothing fits anymore. It's like trying to clothe your soul in childhood garments. You've outgrown them. And as painful as it is to admit, the previous version of you must die for the true one to be born. This isn't depression, it's rebirth. It isn't confusion, it's realignment. Those around you may not understand. Some will accuse you of changing too much. Others will say you're cold, distant, strange. And you'll wonder if something's wrong with you. But the truth is, you're being pulled out of illusion. The superficial self, trained to please, compete, and conform, is unraveling. And the deeper self, the one that listens, feels, perceives, and seeks purpose, is emerging like a seed breaking through the soil to see the sun. This invisible rupture isn't punishment, it's an invitation. You're not losing your identity, you're remembering who you truly are. Every crisis of meaning is a divine call. Every discomfort is a sign from the heavens. And every time you feel out of place in the world, it's because you're becoming more aligned with the world within. Don't fight this rupture. The pain is real, but it's also necessary, because only those who dare to let the old self die are ready to be born anew. The sacred pain of disconnection. There comes a point in the journey where the pain no longer comes from the external world, but from the silence echoing within. It's a subtle yet immense pain, as if you're surrounded by people yet profoundly alone. You talk, but you don't feel understood. You pray, but it feels like the heavens are silent. You try to fit in, but it's as if everything familiar is now veiled. Nothing recognizes you anymore, not the people, not the paths, not even yourself. This is where many believe they're lost, when, in truth, they're being called inward. This is the stage of disconnection, but not just any disconnection. It's a sacred disconnection, painful yet divine. The old world begins to dissolve, and the new one hasn't yet revealed its face. You're in the in-between, the cocoon, the dark night of the soul. A spiritual land where the ego no longer has strength, and the spirit is still learning to walk, and all you feel is absence. Absence of meaning, absence of direction, absence of words. You feel alone even in God's presence. But listen closely. His silence isn't rejection, it's transformation. If this message is touching your heart, imagine starting each morning with an intimate conversation with Jesus. The e-book, Coffee with Jesus, was created for this. 31 days of encounters with the Word, deep prayers, faith challenges, and revelations that transform your day. It's not just a book, it's a daily invitation to sit at the table with the one who knows your heart. Plus, you get 2 exclusive bonuses completely free. But be warned, it's a limited edition. The link to secure yours is in the pinned comment below. Don't wait, Jesus is already waiting for you. It's in this empty space that wings begin to grow, but you can't see them yet. You only feel yourself being pulled away from everything and everyone. And that distance hurts. It hurts because you were conditioned to believe God's presence is proven by answers, signs, confirmations. But now, He's teaching you something deeper, that sometimes the heavens go silent not out of absence, but out of respect for the process happening within you. Disconnection is an invitation to encounter. Isolation is preparation for revelation. And this space, where everything feels confusing, is actually a sacred field where the new self is being born in silence. Trust it. The cocoon is dark, but it's where the butterfly is born. The desert is barren, but it's where God speaks most intimately. What you're experiencing isn't abandonment, it's refinement. It's the soul being sculpted to carry something greater. This pain has a name. The pain of birth. You're not alone, you're being repositioned. The body begins to respond to the spirit. Spiritual awakening isn't just an internal process of the mind or heart, it manifests in the body. And when the soul begins to align with a new season, the body responds. Suddenly, fatigue arrives without explanation. Sleep patterns change. Insomnia creeps into silent nights, as if your spirit refuses to rest while something reconfigures within you. Food no longer satisfies as it once did. The desire to be in crowded places fades. Noises irritate. Smells bother. It's as if all your senses are being recalibrated to a new frequency. You start feeling a strange need for silence, for nature, for solitude. You want to walk aimlessly, to stare at the sky for minutes without knowing why. You feel the urge to fast, to drink more water, to step away from the artificial. The body craves purification, not because it's sick, but because it's trying to keep up with the soul's movement. It's as if every cell is being informed that a new identity is being born. And so everything that was once automatic now demands re-evaluation. This phase can be unsettling. The body aches, the head feels heavy, your heartbeat races for no reason, your stomach tightens, but none of this is random. It's the energetic impact of spiritual realignment, because awakening doesn't happen only in the realm of faith. It invades the realm of matter. Every organ, every muscle, every vibration in your body is being called to adjust to the new level of consciousness you're accessing. The body becomes a temple in transition. Your skin tingles with prayers. Tears come out of nowhere. Your breathing shifts when you approach truth. This isn't madness, it's attunement. Many ignore these signs, trying to medicate what is spiritual with physical answers. But if you listen closely, you'll realize your body is trying to protect you, pulling you away from what poisons you and drawing you toward what heals you. It wants rest. It wants lightness. It wants truth. Because God's presence isn't felt only in the heart. It reverberates in the flesh, vibrates in the bones, ignites in the pupils. You're not growing weak. You're growing sensitive, and this sensitivity is sacred. It's a gift, not a burden, a calling, not a punishment. Your body is becoming a spiritual compass. It feels what your mind hasn't yet understood. It signals where you should be, who you should walk with, what you should consume. And the more you honor this silent language, the clearer the path becomes. The body knows when the soul is drawing closer to the heavens, and it responds with reverence. Awakening intensifies rejection. Something curious happens when you awaken spiritually. Rejection intensifies. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because you've begun to vibrate at a frequency that no longer aligns with your old environment. Friends start to drift away. Some conversations die naturally. Connections once deep become superficial. Invitations stop. Looks change. And you feel it like a wound, as if you're being left behind. But in truth, it's the opposite. You're being set apart to move forward. It's painful to realize that what was intimate becomes strange, that places once familiar now feel barren, that people you loved start looking at you with unease, as if you're too new to fit into the old world. Rejection hurts, but it's not punishment, it's protection. Because when you align with your essence, everything shallow, false, or superficial begins to dissolve, and what isn't rooted in truth can no longer stay. You may try to resist, force connections, try to explain the change, but something in your spirit already knows the rupture is inevitable. Not out of pride, but out of mission. The chosen aren't rejected because they're lesser, but because they're different, and spiritual difference always creates discomfort. Your new sensitivity unsettles those who live in numbness. Your pursuit of truth confronts those who've settled for lies. Your surrender provokes those who live in the shallow. And this creates distance. Don't fear the drift, it's necessary. Consecration requires solitude. Preparation requires silence. Change requires separation. You can't align with the heavens and keep pleasing everything earthly. The cost of awakening is renouncing a version of yourself that was functional but not true. And by letting go of the role the world gave you, you step into the place the heavens reserved for you. Rejection is a divine tool. It pushes you into the desert, and it's in the desert that prophets hear the voice. It's in solitude that your true identity emerges, and it's in anonymity that God writes the most sacred chapters of your mission. So, if you feel alone, set apart, misunderstood, remember, rejection is often confirmation that you're exactly where you're meant to be. The isolation of the chosen isn't abandonment, it's celestial strategy. You're not lost, you're being called. It may feel like you're adrift, that everything anchoring you has come loose, that the maps guiding you are now blank. But don't be fooled. This emptiness isn't aimlessness. This lack of direction isn't a sign of abandonment. This feeling of being lost is, in truth, a disguised calling. You're not without a path. You're being led to a place where human GPS can't reach. The heavens have pulled you from common routes to place you on the road to revelation. There's a new whisper in your spirit, a different beat in your heart, a longing for something you haven't yet lived but know exists. Prayers return, with unexpected tears. Dreams become coded messages. Encounters cease to be random. You feel a silent fire in your chest, something that doesn't burn to destroy, but to ignite. It's the spark of the calling, the beginning of recognition. The heavens' response to your soul, which even in silence was saying, "I'm ready to live what I was born to be." You don't yet see the whole path, and that's intentional. Because faith doesn't flourish in certainty, but in surrender. God doesn't reveal everything at once. He guides through signs. And the first sign is this holy restlessness, this discomfort that keeps you from settling, this sense that, even without understanding, you've been set apart for something greater. And you have. There's a prophetic time being activated over your life right now, a time when those who were hidden will be raised, when those who wept in private will be used in the field, when those who were rejected will be honored as answers. You're not late, you're not wrong, you're not broken, you're under construction. Every tear was watered with purpose, every silence was a secret lesson, every fall was part of the training. And now you feel it. Something in you is ready. Not because everything is clear, but because your soul recognizes when the heavens call. And this calling is for those who dared to walk through chaos, endure solitude, embrace the void, and still remained. You're not lost. You're in the exact time of your awakening. If this message has ignited something within you and you feel the call to deepen this spiritual journey, subscribe, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and comment below, "I am awakening." Let this be your declar.